Good afternoon, Philly Forum members, distinguished guests. Let me tell you a story about a woman I knew named Hannah. Hannah lived in the corner home of row houses on a busy street in North Philadelphia. Her neighbors affectionately called her Hustle Hannah because she could and would sell you anything and everything you needed. If you needed a hot water heater for your home, she knew a guy. School supplies for your children, she knew a guy. Cousin was home from the army and needed companionship, she even knew a guy for that. Hannah's presence was very powerful, not just because she wore form-fitting, colorful clothing. She was assertive and very outspoken. She was loved by all, but what made her special is she loved children. Hannah would bake a cake for the neighborhood kids every Sunday. They line up down her steps with a paper towel in their hand, just waiting to be served a slice of her award-winning double chocolate cake. And she called it that because if you told her how good it was, she served you double. After the kids were served, they all sit on her porch, Indian style, while Hannah told them how things were when she was growing up and also cracked jokes. One day, a kid named Johnny blurted out, "Miss Hustle Hannah, can you show us your fan?" Everyone sat in silence because they couldn't believe that Johnny had the nerve to call her Hustle Hannah, because before then everyone would just call her that behind her back. Hannah paused. She looked at Johnny, and then she said, "You remind me a lot of how I was when I was growing up. I had no filter." So everyone laughed. And then Hannah said, if you're ever in a bind and don't know what to do, I'll go like this and flick my wrist, then yell, "Ethel, Susie, Q." Hannah carried the fan around with her everywhere she went. And if you asked her, it was to circumvent the hot flashes she felt from time to time. But that's not true. The fan had special powers. And anytime there was a bind and people didn't know what to do, Hannah would go like this, then flick her wrist and yell, "Ethel, Susie, Q." Ethel, Susie, Q. What a name. And if you ask 5 different people who was Ethel, Susie, Q, you get 5 different answers. Now the old timers would tell a tale that Ethel, Susie, Q was the name of Hannah's daughter, who disappeared over 20 years before, never to be seen again. Hannah's heart was broken, and she would wake up in the middle of the night screaming for her child. One morning, she woke up to find a fan on her porch. And she picked it up and carried it with her since then. When Hannah would carry the fan, she'd go like this, flick her wrist, and yell, "Ethel, Susie, Q," and all of the problems would just go away. Whatever it was, it would disappear. Hannah, she continued to bake cakes for the children on Sundays, as well as talk to the children and help them out in any way they needed. She lived a long life, and she was a pillar in her community for just about all the years she was on this earth, until she passed away from natural causes. But don't worry, Hannah gave the fan to someone that was very special. So, anytime there is a bind and you don't know what to do, I'll just go like this and flick my wrist and yell, "Ethel, Susie, Q." Thank you.